Alright everybody, welcome to Math Review 3-5. Our first problem is going to be rounding 52 and 297 thousandths to the nearest hundredth. So before anything else, we need to look at our hundredths place, which will be our 9, and we have to look at the number that will tell us if we're rounding up or down, which will be our 7 in the thousandths place. If you underline the 7, you get a star. Now remember, our rule is 5 or more, raise the score. So since 7 is higher than 5, we're going to go ahead and round straight up. So that 7 goes to a 0 and the 9 becomes a 10. However, because the 9 becomes a 10, we have to bump up the next digit over one spot. So it's going to instead be 52 and 30 hundredths. Why not 52 and 3 tenths, you ask? Because we're rounding to the nearest hundredth. So even though we have a 0 in that spot, we still need to put it so that we're in the hundredths place. You'll get 5 stars for all of that, and you get an extra star if you didn't continue on past the hundredth place. If you have more than one 0 at the end, then you don't get that extra star. The key idea, as we mentioned before, is 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. And you get another star for putting in that key idea. That gives us a total of 8 stars for this problem. Now we go on to our subtraction. We have 72 and 4 tenths minus 8 and 679 thousandths. So the first thing we need to do is line up our problem, and we have to line up our decimals, as always. Most importantly, once we line up our decimals, we have to add on extra zeros to our bigger number, because our bigger number doesn't have as many digits behind the decimal. So we have to fill those in so that we can subtract properly. You'll get 2 stars for putting those 2 zeros in, another star for lining up our decimals, and then another star for setting up the whole problem correctly. Now we can subtract. But we can't take 9 away from 0, and we can't regroup from another 0. So we have to go all the way to the 4, cut that into a 3, and regroup. Now we can subtract. 10 minus 9 gives us 1. 9 minus 7 gives us 2. Regroup from the 2 to get 13. 13 minus 6 gives us 7. Bring our decimals straight down. Regroup again from the 7 to get 11. 11 minus 8 gives us 3, and the 6 just comes straight down. So our final answer is 63 and 721 thousandths, and you get 6 stars if you got all of that correct, to include bringing the decimals straight down, because we always do that in addition and subtraction. Now our key idea, as we may have mentioned before, is to always line up the decimals, and you get another star if you put the key idea on your problem, which gives us 11 stars that you could have earned. Now we go to our division. We have 3,498 divided by 11. So the first thing that we have to do before we can start anything else is to set up our factor chart. So we're going to go ahead and fill out all the way from 1 to 10. 11 times 1 is going to give us 11. Times 2 is 22, then 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99, and finally 11 times 10 will give us 110. You'll get 10 stars if you filled out this factor chart completely, and it's accurate. Now we can finally set up our division problem. So we'll set up 33,498 divided by 11, and you get 2 more stars if you put 3,498 as your dividend and 11 as your divisor. Now 11 can't go into 3 at all, so we got to put a 0 there. That's a star. 0 times 11 is 0. Set up a subtraction, get another star if you put the subtraction sign, and that gives us 3. Bring down the 4 to get 34. 11 goes into 34 3 times. That's another star. 3 times 11 is 33. You get a star if you set up the subtraction problem right, and that gives us 1. Next we bring down our 9, and 11 goes into 19 just 1 time. That's another star. 1 times 11 is 11. set up our subtraction problem. That's another star, and we get 8. Bring down our 8, and that fits 8 times, which is another star. 8 times 11 is 88. Subtract, there's one more star, and we get a big old 0. So our answer, our quotient, should be 318. Our key idea for this needs to be that we always write our multiplication chart. And you'll get another star for that. So if we count up our total stars, we get 21 stars for completing every single thing in this problem. Now we go to our reflection. If you got every single thing right so far, and you've been following along, we should have 39 stars correct. Make sure you mark how many stars you got out of those 39. Our reflection we will do for today is I did blank better, but I still need to work on blank. Because everybody has something that they can work on, but we've always improved on something.